everybody and welcome back to my channel. My name is GITTEMARY and today we are doing an anti-haul. I haven't done one of these in such a long time. Now, I live as minimally, not in aesthetic, but in consumption as possible. I try to not overconsume or buy anything that I don't need. And my platform is generally about how to live more sustainably. So when I see things like summer essentials or I see products being hyped or promoted as something that we just need to buy for the summer, I'm always pretty skeptical. And I've been building up a lot of complaints recently. So that's why I thought, why not just sit down and talk about why some of these products might be problematic and why we should reconsider or reflect upon whether or not we actually need them. So without further ado, let's get started. The first thing that I want to talk about is Barbie. Now, I loved the movie. I saw it before the premiere. It's an amazing movie. I am absolutely 100% on board. What I'm not on board with though is the over 100 different brand collaborations. Now, the PR team for Barbie has absolutely been working overtime to create products and collaborations that can promote the movie. However, what often happens when you buy any kind of merch or promotional goods like this is that it's gonna lose its magic pretty quickly. For a lot of people at least. And over 100 different brand collaborations is simply unacceptable. In this day and age, in this economy, no. I also think it's a little bit strange considering that there actually is anti-capitalistic criticisms within the movie. I'm not into it at all. I think it's absolutely possible to enjoy a movie or a piece of pop culture without also buying into the overconsumption and the consumer behavior that's related to and around said piece of pop culture. So while I enjoyed the movie, I'm not going to be buying anything Barbie themed or anything Barbie related anytime soon. I do recommend if you're going to see the movie with your friends or if you want to dress up as Barbie, etc., check out vintage shops, check out thrift stores for pink clothing rather than going out and buying some shitty made costume from a sweatshop where the manufacturer never thought about the planet for a single second. Barbie merch, I'm sorry girlies, it's not happening. One of the more basic summer essentials that I see all the time and that are very easily available, especially in very touristy areas, are plastic foam flip-flops. Now, having a good beach shoe is absolutely viable, but I have never in my life experienced that these plastic flip-flops actually last any season through. They're not really made to last, they're made as a disposable piece of clothing. And I think when any product, and especially clothing that's been put a lot of resources into producing, is considered or designed to be disposable, I think that's a big problem. So instead of going for the plastic foam, very cheap quality flip-flops, I would go for something that's a little bit more long-lasting and that you can use for multiple years to come. I think that's also a much better investment for you. So rather than buying many shitty things over and over because they keep breaking, buying one thing instead that doesn't break. It's not only more conscious, it's also going to be cheaper in the long run. Also, it's important to note that any kind of foam plastic material is basically always unrecyclable, but it will end up in landfill and it will end up in our oceans because it floats, because it's plastic foam where it just will release microplastic. I have uttered the words myself in my past that this is gonna be such a great beach bag, and if you search beach bag, you find bags that are specifically designated for the beach. Beach bag is more of an aesthetic than an actual role that is unique to having a bag on the beach. Instead of buying a beach bag that you only use in one specific scenario, buy a bag or just use one of the bags you already have. That is also, I promise you, definitely gonna work for the beach as well. My overall problem with beach bag is that often products are created to fulfill only one specific need, while a more versatile piece of clothing, accessory, or any kind of product is much more sustainable. So having one thing that does one thing is a lot worse than having one thing that does multiple different things. And that goes for beauty products, home decor, that goes for clothing, that goes for accessories, that goes for food, everything. If it can do more than one thing, it's better. And that's not only true for beach accessories, that's true for basically any product. This summer I have been to not only one, but two festivals. And one of the trends that I've seen over and over again is really vintagey. And when I say vintagey, I'm just playing myself here because honestly it's just 90s, 80s. Sunglasses are becoming really, really popular, especially the really fast ones, the very like pew. They're so fast, they're already flying off your face. Every major fashion corporation, every drop shipper create these glasses while they already exist. So buying them authentically from the 90s or the 80s is going to be much more sustainable, because then you're not supporting companies and their production of new clothing, but you're just using something that's already in circulation. So it's not the aesthetic or the function of the glasses, because I definitely get it. It's not my vibe, but that doesn't matter. It's the buying something that has the look of something that's old, while the old thing still actually exists and is easily available. Now the next one is acrylic glasses and mugs. I have seen these, especially on TikTok, absolutely everywhere. So big acrylic, aka plastic mugs that you bring everywhere, that's usually filled with glitter, sparkly things, decorations, etc., which is super cute, and that you're able to customize your own thing. It's super cute. I'm not that much of a Grinch. However, it's not the most sustainable material in the world. And from what I have seen, the popularity of these types of products spark dropshippers and places like Wish, Temu, Alibaba, all these places to stock up on this type of thing, where you can now buy them cheaper instead of supporting small businesses that are making these things customizable. So that in and of itself is a problem for me. There's also the notion that the material in and of itself is not sustainable, and you can get the same vibe from a more sustainable type of material, get something secondhand, or choose something that's made from aluminium or from stainless steel and then customize that instead. It's also going to last you so much longer because it doesn't break as easily as acrylic would. The next thing I want to talk about is any type of sheer clothing. This is something we always see during the summer, and I have some concerns. Now, the majority of sheer clothing is made from polyester, and I just made a whole impact analysis regarding polyester and the impact, where it comes from, and where the impact specifically comes from. Energy use and emissions for polyester production is quite high. These sheer types of clothing, beach cover-ups, and also more like party-related sheer pieces of clothing are often pushed towards consumers as a cheap way of looking more chic and trendy during the summer. But all of these clothes are usually, the majority of the time, in 99% of cases, made by fast fashion companies that do not give a flying shit about the planet or the workers that they're exploiting in their supply chain. It's also basically impossible to repair sheer clothing, because where would you put the seams? Where would you do this hemming? Where would you put thread it? I have a couple of sheer pieces of clothing myself that I have gotten in thrift shops over the years. I would never ever buy any product like that from new, because it's basically impossible to repair. The materials are absolutely unsustainable, and they release microplastic every time that you wear them, every time you wash them. Europe is on fire, and H&M wants to upscale their production with 50% before 2030. So it's amazing. The next one is kind of a personal preference, but I want to use that personal preference to talk about something else. So I won't be buying any pink or lavender clothing. These are some very on-trend colors that we are seeing currently everywhere, not only because of the Barbie movie, but primarily because of the Barbie movie, I assume. But we have seen a lot of pastels, especially a lot of lavenders recently, and a lot of companies are producing not only clothing in these colors, but accessories and makeup and all different types of products in these specific on-trend colors. And I think it's very important that we as consumers reflect upon whether or not this is something we would actually use for a long period of time. When a certain color is on trend, you can suddenly get everything imaginable in this color. But the thing is, with many trends, it's often very short-lived, so it will become untrendy again. And while if you are a fan of pink or lavender and it's on trend, it's suddenly super easy to find the things that you would use for years and years without having to dig deep through the internet to find these things. But a lot of consumers don't necessarily have this preference. A lot of consumers are just buying what is on trend. And that is a big problem, because that means you will get things in pink and lavender that you won't use in half a year, that you won't use next year, because now there's a new color that we are buying. I remember when everything had to be neon green and neon yellow, and we all got neon things. And then a few months went by, and that just seemed really, really faded all of a sudden, and that's a big problem. So I won't be buying into the lavender pink craze, although I admit that a lot of the things look really cute. It's super easy to be sucked in thinking that you will use this for a longer period of time, but that's so rarely the case though. We know what we're all about. I know what I like, and it's not that. So I can appreciate it from afar, but I won't be buying into it. And I think it's really important to reflect upon whether, whenever we buy a product, if this is something we could see ourselves wearing years from now as well, because a lot of these products will indeed be around years from now. Also, I spent the majority of my teenage years knee-deep in J fashion and Decora. I have worn the pink that I could wear in a lifetime, so. The next thing is probably not a shock to anybody that's been on my channel for a while, but I am anti-hauling body glitter. We see this especially when summer hits and we have pool parties, we have beach parties, we generally just want to look really cute. Body glitters and body sprays with glitter is the absolute epitome of everything that's wrong with the beauty industry, in my opinion. So there are three scenarios here. Either your body glitter can be made with just normal glitter, which is just plastic. So whenever you put it on your body, you have to wash it off. You wash the microplastic, that is the glitter, down into the drain that cannot be filtered off, and it ends up in our oceans as microplastic. That's a really big problem. You also inhale it, you get it into your skin, you get it into your mouth and eyes. It's not a good time. Now, it can also be made from mica, and mica is a natural mineral that just shimmers a whole lot. And that's not necessarily a problem for the planet per se, except for the fact that mica has to be mined, and a lot of the people that are mining mica for the beauty industry are children. This is definitely one of those things where you have a product and you have a replacement product that's more sustainable, but then there's an awful supply chain related to that as well. There's really no way for us to win, especially not if you want to wear body glitter. You can get biodegradable, not child-mined glitters. They are available, they are a little bit more expensive, they are not as easily available as the two prior options, but you can look into it if it's really important that you wear some type of shimmer. And I have a whole video about the impact of the beauty industry where we talk about mica, so I'll link that down below if you're interested. One of the things that I've seen this summer, basically in every thinkable shape and color and style, are plastic hair clips. I have seen so many plastic hair clips, accessories, etc., especially on Instagram and TikTok. And while obviously we need something to hold our hair up once in a while, and I don't bash owning a plastic hair clip, I have two myself, but it seems like so many are being produced. Way too many are being produced, and often these things are promoted with tiny, tiny design differences that supposedly will revolutionize the hair clip industry. The hype that I am seeing regarding some of these companies, it's absolutely wild. I even saw recently, this was on TikTok, and this wasn't a clip, but it was like a little headband. It was a company that specialized in hairbands that looked like you were wearing sunglasses in your hair, but they weren't sunglasses, they were a hairband. Why? Why hair accessories? Why? Maybe I'm just confused, I don't know, but I am anti-hauling them. I think it's wasteful to produce so many of these things, and I think as consumers we should be aware that we're not just buying things over and over. And the last thing I'm anti-hauling is disposable cameras. I have seen so many guides on how to have the perfect summer on social media, and a lot of them include getting disposable cameras and taking pictures with those. Now, I do understand the appeal because the aesthetic of pictures taken with disposable cameras, super cute. However, there are software that does that for you with a simple click. So getting a whole ass piece of technology that is gonna be useless once you've taken 25 pictures with it is simply just not a sustainable thing to do. I suggest taking pictures with your iPhone or with your regular camera and then editing them to look like that. It's so easy. There are filters that does that for you. It's a much more sustainable solution, at least, than going out and buying disposable cameras. I feel like it's in the name. Disposable camera. It's just like disposable phone. I'm just not into it. So many resources to produce electronic devices and to produce tech in general, even very low grade. It takes minerals that are mined. It takes precious metals. It takes so much effort and so many resources, and the production emits so many greenhouse gases. So choosing to not and simply do the more sustainable thing, which is taking pictures and editing them, I think is a really good idea. Anyway, this was not complaining on my part. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you have any summer essentials that you are anti-hauling, let me know in the comments. And if there are any of these products that you are now also anti-hauling, or if you disagree, let me know in the comments. I would love to hear you guys out. Thank you so much for watching this video. Have an amazing day, an amazing summer, and I will see you guys next time. Take really good care of yourselves. Until then, bye. Thank you so much for watching this video, and also a special thank you to my Patreon supporters. You guys help me create green zero waste content, and I love you guys. You can find the links to my social media accounts down below and the link to my Patreon on this screen. Bye!